Hello, my name is David Miller of David Miller Management. I'm the founder and principal of David Miller Management.
And I'm Dwayne Miller, also with David Miller Management. The purpose of this video is to talk to you about how to drive pipeline and forecasting accountability. And this is one activity that's very important. And it's very important that the Vice President of Sales get this activity right. So David, I just made the statement that the VP Sales must get this particular aspect, pipeline management, and be predictable when it comes to forecasting. How important is that really for a Vice President of Sales?
It's vital, and I would suggest not just for the Vice President of Sales, but also the CEO. Boards of directors don't tolerate missing your number, and they also don't tolerate not being predictable.
Yeah, it's the one thing that I've seen in my career, that if the VP Sales or the CEO does not get this right and they consistently miss their forecast and are not predictable, it's the one thing that will get them fired.
It is. It's the one thing that it's where somebody will help them find something else outside the company.
There are consequences if they don't.
That's true. This is what either makes them or breaks them. They either get put on the chopping block or they become a hero within the company if they get this predictability and accountability right as it relates to the outlook process or the forecast process.
It really amazes me that VP Sales that are out there in high tech, there's so many good, competent VPs of Sales, and they do so many things right, but this is the one thing sometimes that they stump their toe on and they kind of miss on.
That's right.
And in your career with Dell and Lenovo, where you had, and also even NCR, where you had leadership positions, you were president of Dell China, president of Lenovo, Asia Pacific and Japan, and senior vice president of NCR running all of Asia. I'm sure you have examples with these companies where you got into situations where they needed to improve part of their process.
I do. That's exactly right. And in fact, in some of the positions that I was moved into, one company in particular, a Fortune 500 company, when I moved into it, they had no such process in place. In fact, right before what we used to call an outlook call with my boss, the executive vice president of sales for this Fortune 500 company, where I'm rolling up my numbers and my forecasts to him, I had my meetings just hours before that, so I would have the numbers. I would know if I was in trouble or not in trouble, areas I needed to focus on, what I was doing to fix areas where they weren't going as well as they should be. And so went through every country under my supervision, and one country in particular, and this country happens to be India. The leader in India at the time forecasted that he was going to be hitting his number for the quarter, and then which backed off my focus on him slightly, because part of this process doesn't have you, if somebody says they're going to hit the number, it doesn't have you just forget what they're doing. It still asks for inspection. So I inspected, but probably not as well as I should have in this, because 15 minutes after that call with my people took place, I got a call from the leader in India taking his number down, and he blamed it on having gotten some bad news from a customer. But we later learned that he absolutely knew at the time he was doing his forecast review with me that he was going to not make his number, and chose not to give me that because this forecasting and outlooking process was not in place there yet.
Well, that really creates a situation between you and your boss too, right?
It does. And thankfully at that time I had built cushion in between my team and my boss. I definitely let my boss know what happened, but said I'm still going to hit my number. But let me tell you what happened within my business. And sadly, that leader within my organization was helped to find something new outside of our company because of that. So it's not just VPs that get made or broken because of these. It's management and P&L owners all the way down the food chain within a particular company that have to get the process right. because it's got to roll up from a field sales rep all the way up to the CEO and then the board of directors.
Yeah, it's not just the accuracy of the forecast, it impacts you and how the company views you. They look at this person who has not been accurate on their forecasting and missing forecast. They look at this person as an unreliable employee.
That's exactly right.
And they look at them
and they don't believe what you say. If you tell them you're going to do something, they would look at it with skepticism. Instead, the reputation you want is when you tell them you're going to hit a number or you're going to do something, they know you're going to do it.
That's right. That's
and they put it
that's
in the
so
back of their
important.
head, and you carry a different reputation around the company.
You know, the video is not really long enough to tell our viewers exactly what should be done in the process to ensure accuracy and reliability. But could you give us 2 or 3 things that you feel that a VP sales must do to improve on that reliability of a forecast?
I can. First and foremost, there's an old saying that says, inspect what you expect, or better. I like, trust is good, but checking is better. So this depends on a daily and weekly regimen of inspection of the pipeline and of the forecast and of the top opportunities within each and every region under your purview. It requires that level of inspection, and it's part of what I call my business management system that we can help put in place inside of companies that actually don't have a process like that yet.
Right. So specifically, what are you recommending for the viewers, whether they be a small entrepreneurial venture that's venture backed, where they're private equity partners or venture capital partners that are really looking at this company, or where they're a more mature organization? What do you recommend that David Miller Management do inside these organizations to help them?
Yeah, short and simple. They need to let us in to help them. They need to let us in. If they don't have this process in place, allow us to install this process within the company, run it through a forecast cycle, a 13-week quarter if that's the way we want to do it, where we first even run some of these meetings on their behalf, and then secondly, sit in some of the meetings after they've watched us instill this process in there, and then coach them afterwards on how well they did and what changes we might recommend they make to the process. So let us help install this process within the company so they can start getting predictable and drive accountability down through the organization.
Yeah, so I think what you pointed out is mentorship is really a key component of this process too.
It is.
So right now at this juncture in our video, what would you recommend, and why do you think David Miller Management should be considered to help with this process?
Well, first and foremost, David Miller Management is not a collection of academics that have learned from textbooks and come in to talk to companies like the companies listening to this video and tell them how to run their business. Instead, we are people with proven track record, proven processes that work. We've been down on the ground in the trenches and have done this. And this is one process that every company has to get right. Every CEO and every VP of sales. And this is what we have done and have made our careers at. So they got to invite us in to allow us to help.
So what should they do if they want to invite us in?
They should hit that contact us now button and let us come in and give them a proposal.
Well, thanks for watching the video. We look forward to hearing from you, and we have a real strong feeling that we can help you, so please hit that contact us button. Thank you for watching.
Thank you very much.